This is Billionaire Mondays. Every Monday, we present you with another billionaire. Today, we're looking at 15 things you didn't know about Silvio Berlusconi. Welcome to Alux.com, the place where future billionaires come to get informed. Hello, Aluxers, and welcome back to our channel. When it comes to analyzing controversy, some public figures you just can't skip. That's why today, we chose to talk to you about the one and only Silvio Berlusconi, the godfather of Italian contemporary politics, and someone whose life would certainly impress. Who is Silvio Berlusconi, you ask? Born September 29, 1936, he served as Prime Minister of Italy in 4 governments. He owned the Italia football club AC Milan from 1986 to 2017 and has the controlling share of Mediaset. Over the years, he was accused for his authoritarian style of ruling and his brash, overbearing personality. He began his business career back in the 60s, getting involved in the construction industry and developing 4,000 residential apartments east of Milan. He then entered politics in 1994 and was in office for a total of 9 years. If you're new here, welcome. Be sure to subscribe and follow us on Instagram at Alux. But let's cut to the chase, shall we? Here are 15 things you didn't know about Silvio Berlusconi. Number 1. As mentioned, Berlusconi owned the football club AC Milan until 2017. Football and politics are 2 areas involving big money, so why not combine the 2? Well, Silvio Berlusconi owned the AC Milan team for no less than 31 years, from 1986 to the 13th of April 2017. Back in '86, when he acquired it, Berlusconi saved the professional Milanese football club from bankruptcy through the large amounts of money he invested into it, as well as the smart strategic move of appointing Arrigo Sacchi as manager. Nowadays, AC Milan is the 4th most successful club in the world, with no less than 18 UEFA and FIFA titles, and is implicitly one of the wealthiest clubs worldwide. Considering how successful AC Milan is, it doesn't come as any surprise that Berlusconi can't stay away from the club. He recently declared he was considering buying it back from Rossoneri's sport investment Lux, the actual owner. Number 2. He was Prime Minister for 9 years, the longest of anyone since World War II. You've probably heard of Silvio Berlusconi because he was Italy's Prime Minister, but did you know he held the position for 9 years in total? It's only Giovanni Giolitti and Mussolini that held the office for longer than he did. With a center-right political orientation, Berlusconi was the leader of the party Forza Italia and successor party The People of Freedom. Berlusconi was notorious and had a populist approach, as well as a way of combining the use of influence and keeping a strong leading hand. One of the historic moves he attempted to make was to reform the Italian constitution, which he claimed to consider being inspired by the Soviets, but his real interest in the matter was to obtain a stronger premiership. The constitutional reform was rejected by referendum in 2006, with 61.3% of voters casting ballots against it. Number 3. He used to be a bass player in the 1960s. Okay, politics will be politics, but who was Berlusconi before getting involved in it all? Born in Milan in 1936, he was the son of Luigi Berlusconi, a bank employee, and Rosa Bossi, a housewife. Also, he had 2 siblings, Maria Francesca Antoinetta Berlusconi, born in 1943 and passed away in 2009, and Paolo Berlusconi, born in 1949. Surprising as it might be, Berlusconi had a passion for music when he was young. It seems that, during university, he was a bass player in a group formed with the now Mediaset chairman and amateur pianist Fidele Confalonieri. Furthermore, Berlusconi wrote AC Milan's anthem in collaboration with the Italian music producer and pop singer Tony Renis. He also wrote Forza Italia's anthem in collaboration with Renato Serio. But what is really cool is that Berlusconi wrote 2 song albums in 2003 and 2006 with the Neapolitan singer Mariano Apicella. Number 4. He maintained good foreign policies with key countries like the US, Libya, and Russia. Keeping good foreign policies with both Russia and the United States is nothing if not pure art, which is what Berlusconi and his cabinets managed to do. This is even more impressive considering the tensions between the European Union and the US during the Bush administration. Berlusconi is also one of the key supporters of Turkey's application to accede to the European Union. At the same time, President Vladimir Putin himself expressed his appreciation for Silvio Berlusconi's political approach and for the, we quote, respect shown by the Italian Prime Minister towards the leadership of the Russian Federation. Berlusconi also managed to sign a historic cooperation treaty along with the Libyan leader Muammar al-Gaddafi in 2008, a treaty intending for Italy to pay $5 billion to Libya as compensation for its former military occupation. In exchange, Libya had to take measures to combat illegal immigration coming from its shores and boost investments in Italian companies, which worked until it didn't. Number 5. His net worth is now $6.9 billion. Money makes politics go round, and the world in general. Since the 1970s, Silvio Berlusconi started earning money. He first built a media group named Fininvest that focused on importing American shows such as Baywatch and broadcasting their dubbed in Italian versions for TV, for example on Canale 5. It didn't take long for him to become a media tycoon. Furthermore, he invested in football before entering politics in the 1990s. He was appointed prime minister in 1994. In 2012, Forbes reported Berlusconi to be Italy's 6th richest man, sitting behind Michele Ferrero and Giorgio Armani. He shares his fortune with his 5 children, 3 of which occupy important positions at Fininvest. It includes stakes in media, publishing, and banking firms. Number 6. He was sentenced to prison and got an office ban. One could have hardly gone through the first 15 years of the 21st century without hearing about at least one of the scandals involving Silvio Berlusconi. He was found guilty of bribing Senator Sergio De Gregorio in 2006, offering at least no less than €3 million in order to switch factions and convince other senators to change their positions, thus leading to the downfall of the Prodi government. Berlusconi claimed that the money he gave to Sergio De Gregorio was meant to finance a new political movement. He was sentenced to 20 months in jail as a result of a plea bargaining deal. However, a court in Naples convicted Berlusconi to 3 years in jail and banned him from holding any public office for 5 years. In his eyes, this was nothing more than a desperately unjust and unjustifiable ruling. Number 7. He's being investigated for corruption and child prostitution. The scandal saga doesn't end easily. Berlusconi was subject to several allegations and trials related to abuse of office, defamation, extortion, child sexual abuse, perjury, mafia collusion, false accounting, embezzlement, money laundering, tax fraud, witness tampering, corruption, and bribery of police officers, judges, and politicians. In spite of leaving office in 2011, he was still subject to several trials. Furthermore, in 2013, he was found guilty of paying for sex with an underage prostitute named Karima. The court of first instance sentenced him to 7 years in prison, and this also led to being banned from office for life. In spite of all of this, Berlusconi continues to reject all charges. Number 8. He was cited in the Panama Papers leak. Remember the Panama Papers scandal of 2016? What would that be without Berlusconi? Well, the leaked confidential documents providing detailed information regarding an impressive number of offshore companies and the identities of their shareholders and directors was quite telling when it came to the former Italian Prime Minister. The Panama Papers listed about 100 Italians and firms holding offshore accounts in order to dodge taxes, including Emanuela Barilla, Stefano Pessina, as well as several companies linked to Berlusconi and his partner at AC Milan, Adriano Galliani. Number 9. He was assaulted at a rally in Italy. Not even populism can make everyone love you. Silvio Berlusconi has been the target of figurative blows for decades. Anyways, 2 of them managed to hit the mark. the first occurring in Rome in 2009, the second one taking place in Milan in 2009, when Berlusconi appeared at a rally for the People of Freedom Party in front of the Duomo Cathedral. As he was signing autographs and shaking hands with his supporters, he was hit in the face and knocked to the ground by someone who either hurled a punch or a miniature metal souvenir of Milan's cathedral, the Duomo, whichever report you believe. The former prime minister was quickly ushered into a car, but insisted on getting out, showing his bloodied face to the crowd and journalists. Number 10. His most expensive home is worth $450 million, and it's for sale. The beautiful Villa Certosa is situated on the island of Sardinia, and the place where the former prime minister hosted some of the most controversial private parties in the history of Italy. The mansion covers 4,500 square meters, with 126 rooms and a 120-hectare park, and it's famous for being the place where Berlusconi used to welcome heads of state or members of the government, such as British Prime Minister Tony Blair or Russian President Vladimir Putin. No one really knows if the holiday home was sold or not, but rumor has it Berlusconi was considering selling the property for $450 million to the Saudi royal family. It was also speculated that the man himself gave a personal tour of the spectacular villa to Crown Prince Mohammed bin Nayef. And Aluxers, since we're talking real estate, if you'd like to find out some more about other ridiculously expensive homes, go check out our 10 most expensive houses in the world video. That should definitely get you inspired. Number 11. He has 3 documentaries and 7 movies made after him. It seems like Silvio Berlusconi's life has been a source of inspiration for cinema enthusiasts. Since 2003, he's been the subject of 3 documentaries: Citizen Berlusconi, Viva Zapatero, and Quando C'era Silvio, as well as 7 movies. The amazing movie director Paolo Sorrentino's Loro, a movie aimed at showing the rise and fall of Berlusconi, came out in April 2018, and even Emmy-nominated producer Stephen Lee Jones was charmed by the former prime minister's figure, announcing he was developing an English-language film on the matter. The main subject seems to be, quote, a questionable real estate deal involving the former Italian leader's mansion outside Milan, and the other movie is going to be titled La Marchesa. Number 12. He's a buffoon and often embarrassing for the nation he represents. Berlusconi is one of Italy's most prolific political figures for sure, and the political career he's led is there to prove it. However, he's far from being an example of virtue, and his moral compass is definitely not something the public should be using as a guiding light. However, in spite of how important and controversial Berlusconi is, he's got his flaws as well. Take, for example, the way he majestically managed to embarrass himself and his country during the 2009 G20 summit that took place in Rome when he yelled, "Mr. Obama," over the congregation of worldly leaders in order to catch the US president's attention. That was it for diplomacy, huh? And if that wasn't enough, let us all remember how back in 2009, Mr. Berlusconi declared publicly that he believed there was no one in history whom he should feel inferior to. He also called himself the Jesus Christ of politics. Yeah, I'd consider that a little embarrassing. Number 13. His ex-wife had to give him back money from their divorce settlement. Berlusconi and former second wife Veronica Lario's divorce settlement required the former prime minister to pay her 1.4 million euros per month, but this was overruled by an Italian court's decision in November 2017. According to the court, the former prime minister had been unfairly treated in a divorce settlement and therefore charged his ex-wife to hand back to him alimony payments totaling some 60 million euros because, quote, she had no right to the money. It seems that Mr. Berlusconi's always got a way to come back into the spotlight, and now that he'll be richer after his ex-wife pays him back, we can expect anything from this public figure. Number 14. He was linked to the Italian mob. This is the part where we give you some news you probably wouldn't expect to be hearing, right? Throughout his career, statements regarding Silvio Berlusconi's connections with the Sicilian Mafia, the Cosa Nostra Association, have come and gone. One of those accusations claimed the former prime minister is linked to the Mafia's Vittorio Mangano, a former gardener and stableman at Berlusconi's Villa San Martino in Arcore, who was charged with mafia association. Furthermore, Berlusconi is a friend with Marcello Dell'Utri, co-founder of Forza Italia, a man who was sentenced to 9 years in jail back in 2004 on the grounds of external association to the mafia. The sentence described Dell'Utri as a mediator between economic interests of Berlusconi and the members of the criminal organization. Silvio Berlusconi refused to comment in any way on the court's decision. Number 15. There's a new word, Berlusconismo, used in Italy. The term appeared back in the 1980s, had a positive connotation, and was a synonym for entrepreneurial optimism. At the time, Berlusconi was the example of entrepreneurial spirit which was not shaken by difficulties, and who always seeked for solutions to each and every problem. Anyway, if the term was so flower power back then, its meaning has certainly changed in the 21st century. According to the Italian definition given by the Encyclopedia Institute, Berlusconismo means several things, from social phenomena related to Berlusconi to the idea of laissez-faire that was typical to him throughout his political career as well as in the economy and markets. So do you get the Berlusconismo vibe or not? And that's it for today, Aluxers. Thanks for watching our video. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel if you like what you saw. We put out new videos every single day. Now before you go, we're curious. What do you think of Silvio Berlusconi's relationship with the mafia? Let us know by commenting below. Still here? Of course you are. Here's your bonus fact. Number 16. At 81 years old, he still looks the same. Have you ever noticed how Berlusconi doesn't really seem to age? Nowadays, the former prime minister is 81 and seems to not have changed a bit in the last 30 years. Rumor has it he's a fan of facelifting, and after his last appearances, Berlusconi's face has been described as not being out of place at a Madame Tussauds exhibition. With less wrinkles, gleaming teeth, and his sprayed-on hair that looks a lot better after the hair transplant, the man looks at least 15 years younger than he really is. He's never commented on the matter, and we don't really expect him to do so anytime soon, as he seems to be getting ready to come back into politics, or something. Thank you for spending some time with us, Aluxers. Make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss another video. We also handpicked these videos, which we recommend you watch next. Thank you for being an Aluxer, and we'll see you back tomorrow.